without my tea, for sure.
Absolutely. So welcome to BSB TV. Today I've got with me Josh Tinner. He's Joshua Tinner. Do you prefer Josh or Joshua?
I prefer anything that my mother would be okay with. So Josh, Joshua, anything like that. Not
Just
Benjamin.
don't call you late for dinner. That was the old tagline at our house. Absolutely. So you're from Intern Match and helping both uni students get their start in their career, but also helping businesses get that project actually done that they've been trying to tick off the list probably for the last 2 years. Because when I actually survey business owners, small business owners, and I say, hey, have you got a little project that you just need to get rid of? Or are you completely up to date? They all go, oh my God. And they start laughing.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many projects. I'm actually sitting, my mum's a small business owner as well. She runs her own business, and don't tell her, but I'm currently sitting in her office because it looks fancier with the books behind me. But she's the same, is that she'll have these small projects that kind of need to get done, but they're second priority or third priority. Having something like an intern in there is just a great way of getting those projects finally done.
Maybe you should talk to your mum. But So interns, they don't always have to work on site, and we've just been talking about that. Now, you guys are trying to place some people who do have to work on site, and there's a short list of that, and we'll share that with the crew. But also you were saying, hey, you've got a whole a batch of interns coming from the University of Adelaide that need to do remote internships. That's actually part of the job criteria with the University of Adelaide, understanding a post-COVID world, not everyone's going to work in an office. And so part of their experience of their degree is they need to work remotely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right, in the post-COVID world, it's a conversation that we're having very frequently, not just with students, but with businesses as well, is that you don't have to be in an office. And particularly for small businesses, it can often be a cost saver that you don't either have to rent out a space at a co-working space or even put a lease on a whole building. If there's only a couple of staff, do it from home. It's much easier. So what we've found is that a lot of universities they can be a little bit slow, but they're very slowly coming around to the idea that interns can do it remotely as well. So the University of Adelaide, we've just started about a week ago. We've got about 35 students from them that are all looking to do their internships remotely. So there's a lot of accounting students, a lot of finance students, and a couple of general business and marketing as well.
So when you're talking about accounting students, so they're close to the end of their accounting degree, their Bachelor of Accounting or business or whatever it is these days. I did a Bachelor of Business that was majoring in accounting. That was, back in the dark ages. I think electricity had just been connected at that stage. But these guys, obviously very tech savvy, used to communicating remotely. And it is a challenge to get these projects started, but once you get people on a roll, the benefits are absolutely outstanding.
Oh, 100%. And that's something that we provide support with as well, is really that first week, maybe those first 2 weeks are the critical part, because if you can get that plan down, you get those communication patterns set out, you're having daily meetings, whatever it might be. Once that's set, everything else is a breeze. And so we put a lot of energy in making sure that starts properly so that the intern can be productive, they can be happy, because of course part of the point, aside from the student getting experience, is that they do need to deliver something to the business. It's not a one-way street. It does go both ways.
Absolutely. So when a business is getting an intern, you can't get an intern to go and do your filing and that's it. Look, don't think of it on those terms. Think about these projects that add value to your business, that are on the list and have been there for some time, and define the project really well. But your interns match a whole range of stuff. Quite often in talking to your company, I know that a lot of IT and web-based interns are looking for work. A lot of people in project management style things, a lot of analysts, so both financial and business analysts. But you know your interns better than I do. So what else are people looking for?
Oh, a whole range of things. So on top of everything you've just mentioned, so there's the technical and non-technical IT roles. So whether that's things like business analysts on one end and like web development and back-end development on the other. Engineering is one of the big areas. About a third of our students are engineers. So whether that's mechanical or electrical or even civil engineering. So there's a lot of different things that they can do. Bunch of marketing people as well. The only catch with marketing is that when have you ever spoken to a business that says, we do enough marketing, we don't need help with that. So we always have lots of businesses asking us for marketing students, but we do get a number through. And then general business admin as well. We've got HR students, people who are interested in processes, that kind of thing too.
Now, don't be shy of asking for a marketing intern. I have been asking for one since I met Steph, and that's only like 6 months ago. You can see my intern just over my shoulder here. So there's no favoritism. Basically, if you have a great marketing project and you're looking for an intern, basically the interns will be put to places where there is a great project and where you've got it really clearly defined. But if you say, hey, I want an intern to come and do a marketing project for me, you're not going to get one. However, if you say, I need a marketing intern because, and you can define the project, hey, that's going to be sexier for the intern, because they're going to go, that's a project I want to do, and it's going to help you get that project done.
Yeah, for sure. Because the way that we work and the way that we set ourselves aside from all of the other placement providers that are out there, we know we're not the only one, is that we give the interns choice as well. And we give the companies choice. We are never going to say to you, you want a marketing intern? Well, here they are. You've got to take them. We will offer you an intern. You'll always have an interview. And we offer the intern the internship as well. And we always ask for that choice. We get that input. So what that means at the end of the day is that any intern that you do take wants to be there. They're in on your project, on your business. They want to contribute to you. And of course, you're going to want them as well. Because if you don't, that's fine. We'll keep looking and we'll find something else for the intern as well.
Hey, and some of these interns are actually looking for jobs long term, and could join you on the completion of their degree, or maybe even join you on a part-time basis while they're still studying. So, there's a great opportunity. So basically, tell us a bit more. What is an intern?
What is an intern? So most interns are in the final year of their studies at uni, or they've just finished and they've just graduated, and they've graduated with their piece of paper and with their little uni teddy, like I've got little mine here from the University of Melbourne, and realised that a piece of paper is not enough to get a job.
I'm feeling really ripped off. I never got a teddy.
Oh, I love it. It was the only thing that I cared about. Even when I got up on stage and I got my testimony, I went, yeah, but I want the thing.
Yeah, just give me the teddy. I get that. I absolutely get that. So, so these guys are near complete or absolutely complete their degrees. So they have, the beauty of an intern is they have, for someone like myself who's on the, I like to say I'm on the right side of 50. If you look down at 50, you need to go a little bit to the right to find my age, right? So they bring new world knowledge and processes to help you think about stuff a little bit differently than you may have thought. So you may know exactly what you want, but with an intern, you may actually discover that what you thought you wanted, there's a slightly different solution that may actually produce a better result.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those wonderful things about having someone that's fresh. They don't have they're not set in that rut with all that experience that they have and accumulated. They've got new ideas. So not all of their ideas are going to be brilliant, of course, but some of the ideas that they're going to have, they're going to challenge the way that you think about your business, particularly when we have accounting interns or business process interns or even website development. They'll come to you and say, hey, why do you do it this way? Or, hey, I've heard of this other piece of software. Why don't you use this? Because it can do X, Y, Z. These are the kinds of stories that we love to hear from companies, that an intern came in, they changed the way that we did a particular part of their business. And as you said before, Kevin, they're looking for employment a lot of the time. And we find that if they're able to make themselves valuable, if they can show to you the problems that they can solve and the new approaches they can take to keep your business agile and moving and fresh in the marketplace, they've almost created themselves a job for you, and you're going to want them, and you're going to want to take them before some other company does.
Absolutely. And that's a really cool point. So one, you don't have to take every intern that's presented to you. You get a choice, but also you do need to market your business. It's a competitive employment situation, and you need to market your business to them. Thirdly, it's a great way of getting that task that you've been going, I need to get round to, and getting that ticked off. So it can't be this easy. How much does an intern cost?
It costs you a grand total of $0. That's it. Because when the interns come from their universities, it's the universities who pay us to help find the students an internship. And we're also a registered training organisation ourselves. So we take students generally if they've already graduated and train them into Australian workplace culture, soft skills that the universities won't have taught them so that they're work ready. We call it our work readiness program. So the cost for the company is absolutely nothing. There's absolutely no cost for taking one on.
Which sounds a little bit too good to be true. So what about the laws around these people and that sort of stuff? Because, of course, if I'm employing someone and they fall over in my office and break their finger, that's about all somebody could do in my office is, stab themselves in the finger with a pen.
Paper cut, maybe.
Yeah. So obviously we have to have work cover and that sort of stuff. So how's that handled?
So we cover the interns for their insurance in their entirety. So when they sign up with us, or if they come from a university, I think we've got about $25 million worth of liability insurance. So fair warning, if this intern does cause $30 million worth of damage to your business, we're not going to be able to help you out all the way, but I would love to see how they could cause $30 million worth of damage to a business.
But you guys are good for the first 25 million.
We're awesome. Good for the first 25, exactly. You're only a little bit, only what's that, 1 in 6. So we cover them all for that in case something goes wrong, to say nothing of the fact, of course, that we don't just dump an intern at your doorstep. We're here to make sure that these students get the best outcomes that they can and that the companies get something useful out of it. So we support you through the whole process. If there are problems, if there are issues, if there's good feedback as well, we're always here. So lean on us, use us so that we can be the intermediary between you and the intern if we need to be.
Absolutely. So far, I think we've placed close to 20 interns. Not every single one is awesome, and we're going to confess to that, right? However, the negative feedback we've had has been on less than 3, so not 3. But the positive feedback has been on way more than half. So, so it's a great opportunity for us to, help people out, to help, kids get a start. They get the work experience. Even if you're not looking for someone long-term, that's okay. It's all about helping someone get the work experience, helping you get that project done and getting them started in their career.
Yeah. On that, with the how good interns can be for companies, we actually, because I'm very much a stats person and a numbers person, so we ran some analysis recently on the feedback that we've been getting from a couple of hundred different host companies. 90% of them rated their intern a 4 or a 5 out of 5. And of the remaining 10%, 2/3 said 3 out of 5, which is fine. So we only really have problems in about 2% or fewer cases. And again, that's where we're here to help. And all we stress is that tell us if there's a problem. Same thing we're going to say to the intern is communicate. If you communicate with us, we're here to help it out. And 9 times out of 10, we can fix it.
And I'm going to say from 20 years of recruitment experience, oh my goodness, that's just like a regular employee. So yeah, absolutely. Hey, Josh, it's been wonderful having you here. We're going to put the link on this thing, on this post, so that you can find how to get an intern through that. Basically, Josh and the entire team, there seems to be an entire army of people. Every time I speak to someone down there, I feel like I'm speaking to someone new.
I know, there's a new person every time. We're growing fast.
I think we're up to about 8 different people we've had having a chat with these things. So there is an army of people helping you get the right person. They're not forcing you to take, hey, here's one person, you've got to take them. It is absolutely, hey, here's a pool of people. Who would you like to pick? And they also get, here's a range of opportunities. Which one would you like? So it really is a great opportunity for the intern, for the company, and to get that project absolutely kicked off the books.
Beautiful. It definitely is. And it's something that we're always eager to help out with, to help new companies, particularly startups, small businesses, or even small businesses that have been around for a while. We love to help people out. And of course, we love to help these students and give them that chance to take all of this stuff they've learned from uni and actually begin to put it into practice, where things break and they learn how to fix them and they start developing those life skills.
Absolutely. And apart from the road interns, you do also work with the University of Queensland, and I know that they love their interns actually being in an office. The University of Queensland, you can't have a home office. I'm sorry about that. And that's why we ask some of the questions that we do to find out a little bit more about your work situation so that we can match the right intern for you. So if you're interested in an intern, throw a comment below, but we'll also put a link in so that you can actually apply straight away.
Beautiful. No, thank you for having me on this morning, Kevin. It's been good to chat with you finally. I've heard a lot of good things about you from from Steph and all of the other companies we've worked with so far out of the Brisbane Small Business Network, and we've had great times with them. We've had great feedback. So we love to be able to help you guys out as well and help the businesses up there in the north.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for coming on, and we look forward to helping you guys find some interns, some placements, and helping the businesses actually, as I said, kick those projects off their books.
Beautiful. Thanks so much.